Here we go. We're taking a big leap up to a 2001 Sea Ray 240 Sun Deck for $5,999. Now, we're out of the project zone and into what could be a boat that's ready for the water. The Sun Deck series is all about maximizing deck space. These are the minivans of the water, and I mean that in the best way possible. They're practical, spacious, and perfect for a crowd. For just under $6,000, you're getting a 24-foot boat from a premium brand that's 15 years newer than our first two. That's a huge jump. The layout is fantastic, with seating for 10 to 12 people and a small enclosed head, a massive plus for families. Best of all, at this price, you can reasonably expect it to run. You still need a sea trial to be sure, but this is a boat you could actually use. The value proposition is strong, a large, family-friendly boat for the price of a beat-up used car. Now for the red flags. Even at $6,000, it's not a new boat. The biggest issue will be the condition of the interior. If all the vinyl upholstery is cracked and split, getting it redone could easily cost $4,000 to $6,000, basically doubling your investment. On the engine, you want to see service records. Ask when the exhaust manifolds and risers were last replaced. On an engine cooled with raw water, they need to be replaced every 5 to 7 years in salt or 8 to 10 in fresh. It's a $1,500 to $2,500 job, so it's a huge negotiating point if they're due. My take on the Sea Ray 240 Sun Deck is very positive. This is a real entry point into modern boating for a family on a budget. If you can find one with a good engine and decent upholstery, it's a fantastic deal. This is the first boat on our list I would seriously recommend to the average buyer. 1984 Sea Ray 245 Sundancer, listed on Boat Trader for a mere $2,000. Now, whenever you see a price that low on a 25-foot cabin cruiser, your brain should immediately scream one word: project. This is not a boat you buy on Friday to take the family out on Saturday. This is a commitment. The Sea Ray Sundancer is an icon. Sea Ray's been making boats since 1959, and their Sundancer series basically defined the modern express cruiser. This one from the mid-80s is a classic, 25 feet long with an 8.5-foot beam, and the ad says it has a single Mercruiser engine. So what's the good? First, the price. $2,000. You can barely buy a decent kayak for that. For the price of a used laptop, you're getting a boat with a cabin, a small galley, and a head. The layout is proven and family-friendly, and it even comes with a quirky portable air conditioner. In theory, it's a lot of boat for the money. Now for the bad, and let's be real. At $2,000, the list of red flags could be a mile long. The ad is suspiciously quiet about the engine, which is your number one worry. A Mercruiser from 1984 could be a minefield. Does it even run? You have to assume the worst. A complete engine replacement on a boat this size can run you $15,000 to $20,000, instantly turning your $2,000 deal into a $22,000 headache. Next up, transom rot. Older stern-drive boats are notorious for it. Water gets into the plywood core and turns it to mush. You have to go tap on it with a mallet. A solid thwack is good. A dull thud is the sound of your wallet emptying. A professional transom replacement can easily cost $3,500 to $7,000. Moving up the price ladder just a bit, we've got a 1995 Sea Ray Cuddy cabin for $2,500. This is still firmly in project boat territory, but for an extra $500 and being a decade newer, are we getting a better deal? This is a 24-foot Cuddy cabin, which is a great compromise. You get a small cabin up front for naps, but keep a big open cockpit for fishing or lounging. As a 95 model, the styling is a little softer and less dated than the 84 Sundancer. Let's start with the good. Again, the price is almost impossibly low for a boat from a top-tier brand like Sea Ray. Their build quality in the mid-90s was generally pretty solid. If the hull is sound, this is a much more modern platform to start with than our first boat. Now, for the red flags. The ad is, once again, brutally sparse. No mention of the engine's condition. At this price, you have to assume it's either dead or has major issues. All the warnings from the last boat apply here. Check the transom for rot and the floor for soft spots, especially around seat bases where water gets in. Another thing to worry about on a boat approaching 30 years old is the fuel tank. An aluminum tank could be at the end of its life, and replacing one can be a nightmare, often requiring cutting the deck open. So, what's the bottom line on this one? It's a bit more optimistic. You're starting with a boat that's 11 years newer with a more versatile layout, but the risk is just as high. You're buying potential, not a turnkey boat. If the engine is shot and the transom is soft, walk away. But if the hull is solid and the engine is fixable, it could be a slightly better diamond in the rough. My deal score? 4 out of 10. Okay, get ready for a total curveball. This next listing makes you stop scrolling and say, wait, what? It's a Carver Montego 530, listed on Craigslist for just $9,000. Here's the catch. The ad says it's 53 feet long. Research shows the Montego 530 from the early 90s was actually a 27-foot boat with a wide 10-foot beam. A 53-footer for $9,000 would be a shipwreck. A 27-foot Carver for $9,000 though? Now that's interesting. Let's assume the seller just messed up the ad. The good. Carver is famous for making boats that feel way bigger on the inside than they are. A 27-foot Montego would have a shockingly spacious cabin with a full galley and stand-up head. You could be getting a boat with the amenities of a small apartment, perfect for weekend getaways. The bad? Oh boy, where to start? The confusing ad itself is a giant red flag. It suggests the seller doesn't know what they have, which usually means years of deferred maintenance. Carvers from this era can also be known for hull blisters, which you'd need a haul out to inspect properly. Plus, a boat like this is complex. It's not just an engine and a hull. You're buying a small floating house with plumbing, shore power, and AC. That's a lot more that can break. So where does that leave us? The Carver Montego is a high-risk, high-reward bet. Our seventh boat takes us into a completely different league. This is a Tallycraft 34, listed for $19,975. Tallycraft is a legendary name, known for building incredibly high-quality boats that were practically built like tanks. A 34-foot Tally for under $20,000 is a listing that demands respect. The good here is all about build quality. Tallycrafts have solid fiberglass hulls and were designed by the famous naval architect Ed Monk Jr. They are exceptionally seaworthy. This 34-footer has a huge open-plan interior with beautiful teak woodwork, 2 private staterooms, and a head with a separate shower stall. For someone looking for a serious cruising boat or even a liveaboard, this Tallycraft offers a level of quality that nothing else on this list can touch. Let's get back to something a little more straightforward. A Sea Ray 200 Sundeck listed for $13,999. This is the smaller sibling to the 240 we just saw, but it's likely a few years newer, probably from the mid to late 2000s. The good is obvious right away. For under $15,000, you're getting a modern boat that doesn't scream, "I'm old." At 20 feet, it's easier to trailer, dock, and store. It still has that awesome sun deck layout with tons of seating for a group of 8 and will likely be powered by a reliable MerCruiser V6 or V8. A key advantage of these newer models is often a full fiberglass floor liner, which means no rotten plywood deck to worry about. The red flags here are less about design flaws and more about wear and tear. First, check the engine hours. Under 500 hours is great. 500 to 800 is average, and over 1,000 means you should start budgeting for future repairs. Second, just like the other sun deck, look closely at the upholstery and carpet. A full interior replacement can cost thousands. Finally, check the trailer. A new trailer for a boat this size can run you $4,000 to $5,000. So, a rusty one with dry-rotted tires can turn a good deal sour fast. My take on this one? It's a serious contender for the best deal title. It has modern looks, a manageable size, and a fantastic layout for a reasonable price. It's perfect for a family that wants to hit the water without the headache of a huge project. The key is finding one with decent hours and a clean interior. My deal score, 8 out of 10. For our 6th boat, we're back in the cruiser category with a 1993 Bayliner 2755 Sierra for $19,500. Bayliner has a complicated reputation. Some of their older boats had questionable build quality, but by the mid-90s, they were building much better boats, and the Sierra line was incredibly popular. The good here is the sheer amount of boat you get for the money. At nearly 28 feet, this is a floating cottage. The cabin is huge, with a V-berth, a dinette, a full galley, and a private head with a shower. It even has a separate mid-cabin, so you can comfortably sleep a family. Now for the red flags. With any Bayliner of this age, your number one concern is structural integrity. You have to be hyper-vigilant about checking for a soft deck, stringers, and transom. A survey isn't optional on this boat, it's mandatory. Also, at $19,500, this boat is priced at the very top of its market. For that money, it needs to be in excellent condition. A clean engine, perfect upholstery, and updated electronics. We now arrive at what many consider the modern sweet spot for family cruising. A 1998 Sea Ray 270 Sundancer, priced at $23,999. This boat is the evolution of that first Sundancer we looked at, refined into a sleek, comfortable, and high-performing package. The good here is everywhere. At 27 feet, it hits the perfect balance of size and usability. The late 90s styling has aged incredibly well. The cockpit is perfect for socializing, and the cabin below is bright and open, with sleeping for 4 in a V-berth and the signature mid-cabin. It should be powered by a single 7.4-liter fuel-injected MerCruiser with a Bravo 3 outdrive. A fantastic, reliable combination that makes docking a breeze. What about red flags? At nearly $24,000, we have to be picky. The engine, while great, is still over 25 years old. You need to see perfect service records. Cosmetic condition is also critical. The gel coat should shine, and the upholstery should be in near-perfect shape. A full reupholstery job on a 270 Sundancer could be $5,000 to $7,000. A new canvas enclosure? Another $5,000. Look, this 1998 Sundancer is a very, very strong contender. It's a blue-chip used boat from a top brand in a popular size with a desirable powertrain. It's big enough for serious cruising, but not so big that it's unmanageable to maintain. Find a clean one, and you've got a boat that will provide years of fun and hold its value well. Our ninth boat is an interesting case study in how not to sell a boat online. It's listed simply as a 1985 Sea Ray for $25,000. The ad has few pictures and even fewer details. It's a masterclass in red flags. Let's try to find something good. It's a Sea Ray. That's about it. The red flags are everything else. The price is the most glaring problem. $25,000 for a 1985 25-foot Sea Ray is insane. We started this list with a similar boat for $2,000. Unless this boat has undergone a complete nut and bolt restoration with receipts to prove it, this price is completely detached from reality. A boat like this, in average running condition, is worth maybe $4,000 to $8,000. The vague ad suggests the seller either doesn't know what they have or is trying to hide something. More likely, this is a classic case of owner's pride, pricing a boat based on emotion rather than the market. The verdict here is simple: avoid it. The price is so far out of line, it's not even worth a phone call. This boat is an important lesson. Know the market value of what you're looking at before you ever pick up the phone. We've hit the top of our $30,000 budget, and for this price we're looking at a whole lot of boat. A 31-foot Carver Santiago 310 for $29,500. This is a command bridge cruiser, blending the single-level living of an express with the great visibility of a flybridge. The good is all about space. The bridge is a huge social area, and the cabin feels like a bright, airy apartment. Carver is known for thoughtful layouts, and this boat feels much larger than 31 feet. For nearly $30,000, you should be getting a late 90s boat in turnkey condition, with twin inboard engines, AC, a generator, and modern electronics. It's a boat capable of serious family cruising and comfort. Now, the red flags. The biggest one is the cost of ownership. This is a big, heavy, twin-engine boat. The fuel burn will be substantial. Maintenance is double that of a single-engine boat. Dockage, insurance, haul-outs, everything costs more. Also, be wary of dock queens, boats that sit so much their systems develop problems from disuse. You need to test every single thing during a survey. My final call